Welcome back, semester. All you developing geniuses. Semester started today. Yep, the fall semester. Turkey, Christmas, Halloween, the festivities, all of the cool stuff. I always like fall. Fall's my favorite, not spring. Yep, the woke right, the woke left. What's the criminology point to it at, in 2026? Everybody's heard of, the left wing, the right wing, the two wings of the dirty bird. Well, the big question, what happens to criminology when political identity begins to decide which crime matters more? The victims deserving sympathy, the offenders deserving more stringent or strict punishment. Which evidence do you believe? The woke right? The woke left? The opinions? The internet? That favorite podcaster you listen to? All those conspiracy theories? Now it's a drone with a missile and a gun. Yeah. Craziness, right? Well, we're going to break some of this down, but we're going to break it down. Not the stupidity and the crazy with the ideas of, conspiracy, Nosferatu and Nostradamus mixed up together, flying drones in the air. No. Woke is no longer something that belongs in a single, alone argument about the political left. Doesn't exist anymore. It still exists, but it doesn't exist singular anymore. Public commentators also use woke right. The description, it describes a style of white wing identity politics built around the grievances. Yeah, the grievances of the past decade, the past two presidencies. It's a simple grievance, but there's more to the grievance on the woke right, just like there's more to the grievance on the woke left. It's the argument, it's the singularity, the wing identity, right? The wing, left wing, right wing, two dirty birds on one big fat ugly broke down pterodactyl, right? Two wings, the identity politics. So it's built around the grievance, it's built around the cultural threat of right, the cultural threat of left. There's always a threat. There's always a political threat. There's always a bureaucracy threat. What's the threat? Your favorite candidate, a bureaucrat, loses. That's the threat because somebody better came along. Identity politics, control, moral certainty. There are plenty of loyalty tests also within both woke left and woke right. Some of you know what these loyalty tests are. You've seen the loyalty tests on your favorite podcasts. The aggressive treatment of perceived enemies. Oh my God, we got to get them, right? Get them before they get us. There's always fear. There's always paranoia in any bureaucracy. So, the term woke right, is it controversial? Yeah. Just like woke left. It's not an established academic construct either. Woke left is really not a hardcore established academic construct. It's not. So how can woke right be? So for this episode, excuse the cough, I've been lecturing all day. Talking. It's the start of the semester. So which side is more woke, the left or the right? Well, it depends on the political ideology, the identity of the politics that's embedded with either side. Same crime, different political move, right? The right leaning toward movements, the left leaning toward movements. You got to understand the movement. You have to understand the moralization, the victimhood narrative. Who's the victim here? One would say on the left side, illegals, race, yeah, religion, migration. On the right, one would say conservative, the nation, us. Let's not confuse nationalism with woke right either. Let's not confuse nationalism with woke left either. Two different things, two different argumentative terms. We've had an episode on nationalism in the past. Can't remember what it was, but we've had it in the past. Go back and look at the older live streams. They were there. But either way, whether it's left or right leaning, movements can display similar, very, very close psychological processes, all right? The otherings, the mobilization, the victimhood narratives, the selective evidence, the punitive double standard, the fear. Yeah, the fear. Fear of what? What do you fear? The religion or the crime? What do you fear? The bureaucracy? What do you fear? The argument from the left? The argument from the right? What do you fear? The conservative, the libertarian, the liberal identity? Or do you fear the result of it? That's the big question. The crime, the evidence, the evidentiary value to the words. Imagine the same disturbing crime appearing on two different TVs or appears on two different phones. Everybody loves social media, right? Has that genius box in your hand. So imagine one viewer immediately sees institutional racism. Yeah, over-policing, poverty, unequal treatment. The other immediately sees disorder, failed borders, weak prosecutors, cultural decline, the collapse of law enforcement, defund the police. Then a new president comes in, first State of the Union, no, fund the police, and makes everybody mad. Everybody remember that? Biden? It's like a historical botch, right? Some would argue that. Failure of the police, but we need them. Both viewers are looking at the same crime. The woke left, the woke right. But sociologically, it's not the same. Cerebral cortex, amygdala, episodic memory, recall, trauma, what one experiences in life. Frontal temporal, sight, smell, vision, what you're seeing, what you've been taught. Criminology has always studied this gap, right? The interpretation of events. I'm actually about to start a coordinated venture with some students here at the university with some peers overseas in the UK about this topic. Yeah. The interpretation. Yeah. The interpretation of crime deduction, crime reduction, IT, forensics, the advancement of technology. Yeah, that's a good argument on the right and left woke side, isn't it? Because you're looking at it, you're seeing it. But what are you really seeing? Crime is a legal and behavioral event. Is it against the law? Executives, those in the seat of power, making the legislative word of law. The first hand, the judicial review, right? Judiciary, law enforcement. You're not going to see them unless, they're called to come to your aid or come to you because you're creating a hooliganistic event, some kind of crime, or it's a simple, they observe it, they stop, they see it, kind of like a misdemeanor traffic stop, right? You didn't read me my rights. Well, it's a misdemeanor, clown. You're not going to jail. We're not interrogating you. We don't need to. It's on camera. We saw it. No need for the fifth. Sign your ticket. Bye-bye. Just the way it is. So it's a behavioral event, but the public doesn't see it that way. The public doesn't react that way. It's shaped by fear. Woke left, woke right. The enemies. The two wings on the big fat bird. Enemies. Imagine the two wings on the big bird not working as they should. Anybody ever go running and suddenly your legs are like tired and you're like, man, legs, work like you're supposed to. Work together. The two wings aren't working together. Shaped by fear. The identity. Media supports this. Media politics. Race, ideology, perceived threat. Is what it is. It's two big gaps. What you got to understand is CJTV. We're not picking sides here. This is totally research. Academic. Ooh, speaking of academic, let's get this up. The actual, for those in political science, for those in the universities, media fire. If you go to the Facebook, right there, and it's not ticking anymore, thanks to the mod. It's stationary, but if you go to the Facebook, join it, it's published. Go to the media fire page, download it. Go check it out. The media fire page, this is kind of what it looks like. It's a whole thrashing plethora of research, all filed out just for you to download and use. A bunch of disseminated white papers, a bunch of good information. Go download it, read it for you political, sociological superstar majors this grand fall semester. So, research on political secularism describes a mixture of the othering, meaning the others, the abbreviation or the abbreviated outside, the moralization that transforms into disagreement, right? It's a moralization argument. It's a disagreement. What is the victimhood? What is the collapse in law enforcement? What is the collapse in executive, judiciary, legislative review? What is the collapse in bureaucracy? What is the collapse in society to properly choose bureaucrats to represent society at an executive level to write legislative law and to enforce judicial review? All right? It's a moralization. It's a it's a disagreement or a grave indifference to the words or the interpretation. That also creates moral hostility. Yeah, violence. You want to see real violence? Morals. Right and wrong. Moral ought to, moral ought not, moral should not. We're not talking about ethics here. Throw the fat guy off the bridge to save a whole bunch of lives. Take one life to save thousands. Yeah, you fear death, but you like watching it on TV. Now, I got challenged with that yesterday, so I put a post out on LinkedIn. What I got challenged with: human beings fear death, but they watch it. Looking for a little insight from the scholars out there. Go to my LinkedIn page, right there, down there, Mike Gurley, PhD. Throw your thoughts in there. What should that include? Why do people morally love death? Oh, is that woke? Left? Woke? Right? Yeah, woke in the extremist. Woke left, woke right. It's kind of hard to say that woke right nowadays, isn't it? Criminology research shows that racial influence supports the policing of woke right and woke left. Both sides. Yeah, the punishment, the rehabilitation. Now, since woke right is so new, how could this guy say that research supports the policing? Well, policing is supposed to be unbiased. The Constitution is supposed to be unbiased. So if there's a fracture in the entity of the institution of law enforcement, the government, then it's fractured on both sides. You can't just say it's fractured on one side. It's fractured on both sides. Hate to break the news to you. If you're a Republican and you're going to vote Republican and you're all negative on the Democrat, or if you're a Democrat and you're going to vote Democrat and you're all negative on the Republican, watch both conventions. Watch both sides. Listen to hate speech. Listen to good moral speech. Yes, watch the racist podcasts. Watch the anti-racist. Watch them both. Educate yourself. See the perceived threats and the hostility, the ideology. Woke left, woke right, something new. Some of you people that would be woke left do have no understanding of what woke right is and would interpret it as nationalism when it's not nationalism. You got to do your own research. So, what makes woke right versus woke left? Where's the verse here? Where's the V? Where's the boxing glove? Where's the ring? All right. You can't just turn it into a freaking slogan. A group's going to be betrayed is dangerous. You watch the media, you hear those that are conservative, those that are Republican, portraying verbally the woke left is dangerous. Groups will just throw it out there like Antifa. There was one video out there circulating that I got sent to me with one member that had a really, really crappy set of, gear and equipment, a sippy plate when it said Antifa superstar. Okay, someone would associate that with woke left. But on the same side, you had the ones protesting that looked just as trashy and just as bad and had crappy airsoft gear on, but the weapons were real. They weren't airsoft weapons. So where's the verse here? You got to understand, the woke left is a term that's been used over the past 8 years, almost a decade. Now you've got woke right. Get ready for it. It's not nationalism. It's not pride in a nation, which is nationalism. It's not our nation is better than everybody else, nationalism. That's not woke right. Woke right has an extreme level also, just like woke left, but it's based on the interpretation, the ideology, the learning. That's what it is. So why is this important in 2026? Woke left and woke right. I'm like, man, this guy's a professor at a university. I guarantee you he sees woke left all day long. Yeah, and I'm starting to see woke right too. Yeah. When people argue about specific executive body decision and power and legislative word of law that's being written or changed, the influence upon society, you have to be the one that speaks it correctly according to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Every state has its own constitution. Every state has its own set level of state ordinance, penal code, state statute. Think of the 10th Amendment. If it's not controlled federally, the states control it themselves with permission by the federal government and the Constitution that covers and protects both left and right wing and woke left and woke right, as long as it's done so without breach of law or creates civil liability or injury to society. And I'm not just talking about people. Everybody remembers the riots, the flame, the somewhat peaceful protests. We remember watching those. People enjoyed it. They loved it. The most defensible academic approach in this, woke right, woke left, it's not to pretend that the phrase itself has a settled scientific definition. It's kind of like forensics. Forensics is preparation for presentation using practitioner skills. Example, if you're a dentist, you get that med degree, you've been a dentist for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, then you start helping law enforcement, you go to follow-on training. Now you're a forensic odontologist working with law enforcement in criminal investigation. Bite marks, typically assaults, sexual assaults. So, the scientific definition to woke right, woke left, where is it? It's kind of hard to find. Now, if you download the PDF, like I just showed and told you where it's at on the Facebook, you're going to understand that there is no full definition to it. It's an ideology. Yeah. It's that threat perception. It's that criminology interpretation of what is viable in a positive or negative to society. Yeah, viable, negative. Yeah, viably, we need a negative. A negative would be a punishment. Not all consequences are bad. There are some good consequences. Everybody has grown up hearing that consequence is a bad thing. Consequence can be a good thing too. So, why is it critical here? Instead of this episode using the entry point to establish research on authoritarianism, political, secular maraudery, social media, or moralization, or group threats, or punitive, or identity politics, we're going to focus on understanding that there is no true, written, articulated, cognitive understanding of woke left, woke right. There isn't. Find it. I dare you. I dare you. Anybody that watches this thing, jump out there and find it. Send it to me. Email it to me so I can crucify it at an academic, scholarly, peer review level. Doesn't exist. It's sociological. It's kind of like the European parallel problem. The European Communist 2026 radicalization work program describes the fragmented extremist landscape. Yeah, it includes jihadism, right-wing extremists, left-wing anarchy, anarchists, conspiracy narratives, the hybrid ideologies. That's in Europe, guys, girls, ladies, gents. Oh yeah, what's scrolling right here are all the terms, general terms, academic terms that are in that publication. If you go download it, for all of you political sociology majors, your superstars that are, studying the politics circularization of the world. Yep. Let me see what's going on here with this. Yep, fall semester started. It's out with a bang. Got some repeats. Repeat developing scholars, which is always cool. Teaching a lot of 400 series. Got my one intro. I think everybody's got to have that one intro. I don't know. Everywhere I've ever been, everybody's always told me they have to have that one intro class, that one 200 level. So, authoritarianism is not exclusively right-wing people. It's not just an exclusive right-wing concept. It's not. It's contemporary. Contemporary research has, in the past, identified measurable left-wing authoritarian tendencies as well. Authority, power, not totalitarianism, but authority. Who has the power? Why do you think we have something that we talk about in the world today? Red states, blue states, authoritarianism. Yeah, the controller, the aggression, the anti-hierarchy from the top down. Where's that? Anti-hierarchy. Yeah, we're a totally blue state or we're a totally red state. The censorship, the strong coercive, right? Preferences under some conditions. good for you, but not good for me. It works on both sides. Woke right and woke left. But you're starting to see more woke right nowadays. Like I said, we're not slamming either one of them, but it's coming to the forefront. Moral grandstanding on both sides. Woke right, woke left. Yeah, the use of morals. It's taught partially to gain status. Kind of like, what's that Hassan guy's name? Yeah, somebody sent me a video of, I forgot the guy's name. Hassan talking stuff, and some made sense and some was totally off the wall. Crazy. Kind of like some of the other stuff that I watch. Like I said, if you're going to watch one, watch the other. You're going to hear the extreme on both sides. But it's grandstanding, people. Woke right and woke left. It's grandstanding, recognition, dominance, authoritarianism. That's what it is. Moral grandstanding. It motivates. Yeah, it motivates related people to the ideology extremism, and it affects polarization. Yeah, polarized. What polarization means is a specific entity, a specific group in society is labeled. We're not talking about singular stereotyping. Polarized, not accepted. Polarization. It's cold. Muy frío over there. Polarized outside. But all you do is you grandstand and you gain the attention of the polarized, affected segment or part of society. And it also works in the criminal element, the crime in the debate. The race, the religion, the economic value, especially the vulnerable in public, the mentally ill, the diminished. Ooh, the punishment. It's not just judiciary review, sentencing. Punishment comes from society as well. One would say, no, Dr. Good, no, punishment doesn't come from society. Au contraire. Cases that are argued in society through social media, the courtroom of Facebook, the courtroom of YouTube, the courtroom of Discord, the courtroom of private chats. Yeah, it exists. And it exists on both left and right. Now, Republican, Democrat, left-wing, right-wing, extremist, woke left, woke right. That's a big old argument. There's really no set scientific definition. Now, there is political, boundary, political bureaucracy, separation. It's existed before 1776. Do your own research. Yeah, 1774. Out there argued. One would, argue anti-fascist, Antifa. Where did it come from? Well, it sure didn't come from ding-dongs wearing Antifa superstar hats. Yeah, it didn't. Anybody see that on the internet? I giggled a little bit. Didn't want to throw up in my mouth a little bit because of why do these people wear all this crap? I mean, who puts Red Cross crosses on their sports store knee pads? I don't get it, man. Don't get it. Well, let's get back to woke right and woke left. The central similarities, all right, the psychological structure. It's not a policy content structure. It's not, period. It's not a policy. Where's the policy on it? Where is it? Where is the policy that's recognized? Kind of like, I don't know, the policy of the Constitution. The words, the ever-living, breathing document that can be amended, can be added to, can be. What about state constitutions? Yep, that's up to the state, that thing called 10th Amendment. Yeah, the word of law, the legislative body of law. The reach of the law enforcement, the first judiciary review. It's progressive activism. Yeah. It's moralized around systemic problems, racism, institutional harm. Reactionary activists just detract to it like ticks, like stink, like flies to a problem. Why? Polarization, seculatory extremism. Think about it. Moral grandstanding. You're the motivator. What is a politician? A moral grandstander. Anybody ever heard a politician lie? Anybody believe a politician? Yeah, it's reactionary activism is what it is. The moralization. Self-moralizing around the national decline, immigration, anti-majority grievance, pro-immigration, anti-immigration. The criminological question is whether moral certainty replaces evidence. You're so morally certain, woke left, woke right, that here's the problem. Well, you got to have the proof. Arguing, social media, the world, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, this channel's academic, but at least we present our research and make it available for download and everybody else to review and argue it scholarly. Kind of like I tell everyone in the classroom, if you cannot handle the heat of a classroom discussion about problems and the CJ, sociological, psychological, you're going to get destroyed out there in the world by woke left, woke right, left wing, right wing, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Conservative, Nationalist. You're going to get destroyed because you're not going to be educated enough to have that scholarly conversation. I said conversation. You don't argue with anybody out there. If you're in the psychological segment, sociology, or law enforcement, criminal justice, any avenue of it, don't have an argument with anybody out there. It's a waste of your time. Well, we need to argue no, you don't. Well, we need to have a conversation. No, you don't. No. Academic, research, scholarly, credible, validated, right? Reliability. Where's the credible validity in left wing, woke left? Where's the credible validity in woke right? Send it to me, please. Please. I want to see it. Yeah. What it is political. It's just pure politics, people. Sectarianism. That's what it is. Opponents become enemies. Just like politicians argue and become enemies. So does the woke right and so does the woke left. Enemies for what? For what? Sectarianism. That's all it is. It's a style of political division. You don't think bureaucrats aid in the division? Yes. They're not going to flat out tell you I'm woke left, I'm woke right. Why is the word out there circulating without no definition? It's an othering. It's an aversion. It's a moralization of society's separation from each other. The outliers, right? The polarized, pushing people away. No wonder people choose different directions. No wonder people choose woke left. No wonder people choose woke right. No wonder people choose extreme measures. Polarization of society. That's what it is. Increasingly involves moral compass. The moral concept toward the opposing camp, the opposing team, the opposing army. Society. Which opponent is treated more dangerous? Which opponent is treated more friendly rather than just understand that maybe it's merely mistaken, cohesive, or coercive politics pushing you? The politics is easier to justify. Much easier. So when you're looking at the woke right and woke left, there's an application to it. Yeah, everything has an application, all right? The explanation, sectarianism. The detail, U.S. polarization, the increasing amount of polarization. The moral compass, right? The moral compliance. The moral contempt toward the opposing party. But the application is simple. In criminal justice, which involves sociological work, psychological work, executive, judicial, legislative review. In the CJ system, criminology system, we've got to ask whether the defendant, the victim, the officer, the protester, the migrant, the immigrant, or the institution is being judged by conduct or by which political tribe claims them. Yeah, the political tribe that claims control over the institution, the police department, the federal agencies, the DOJ, and all of the little ABC soups in the DOJ. You go to a blue state, you got blue police chiefs. Go to a red state, you got red police chiefs, red sheriffs, blue sheriffs. Yep, that's the application. Argue me wrong. Argue me wrong. The riots, the protests, are your favorite streamers. Oh, the police aren't doing anything, but they're arresting me because I'm here. I got introduced to a person called Jake Lane, like last week. And then I got another introduction to him again about him getting arrested. And I think that was yesterday or the day before. Can't remember. I've been kind of busy getting ready. But I'm going to get a lot of, emails, contacts. Hey, Doc, look at this. Look at that. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? A stir of garbage. Yes, stir of garbage. Stir of garbage on both sides. Both sides. Both sides fell prey to the mobilization of moralization collapse. Polarization. The scholarly avenue. Why are you there? To what? Scream and yell? What's the emphasis on being at a protest? When your political opponent becomes a moral contaminant due to the process itself, starts to feel like a favor when you're out there protesting for a failed bureaucrat. That's what I saw. I don't know about the rest of you. You're thinking it's about something that it's really not. Yeah. Starts at the top down, the hierarchy. Left wing, right wing, authoritarianism. It's the same thing. Go to a blue state. You're like, no, I live in a red state. I'm not going to go through. I know people that will avoid an entire state just because of the affiliation of a color in the crayon box. They will. Going on a cross-country trip. Well, I'm going to avoid this. I'm going to go like 2 hours and 30 minutes or 40 minutes or 4 hours out of my way. Okay. Knock yourself out. Now, some people do not have an understanding of what authoritarianism is. Yeah, authoritarianism means favoring the stronger cohesion, so to say, or the stronger coercion. Yeah, enforced conformability. Conform. The suppression of perceived threats. Left wing, right wing against each other. Shouldn't be here. It's our protest. Violence, extremism. They need to go to jail. You're the wrong one here. That's the explanation for authoritarianism. But yet there's detail in the coercion, the perceived threat or suppression of your perceived threat. Yeah, they brought a specific flag. Let's take it. Let's fight them. Let's burn it down. Let's chase them down with our cell phones. Get in their face. What is the detail behind the explanation of the authoritarianism action? Left wing, right wing, woke left, woke right. There's always a detail to it, people. Yeah. And there is scholarly detail. Conway, et al., all of his fellow researchers, 2021, all right? And I'm just going to kind of read this. It was something I kind of found in here. Made sense to this live stream with the scrolling over here, academic terms and common terms that you can get for yourself, download the document. Facebook or LinkedIn. Go find it, man. So here's the detail. Similarity argue, okay? It's a similarity argument. Authoritarian tendencies can appear on left under different social norms. This does not erase the extensive literature on right-wing authoritarianism. Man, it goes both ways, people. It's in research. It's expanded upon. It's a comparative question. It's a alternative, right? No. Alternative. So, alternative, there is a problem. No, there's no problem. Nothing here. It's null and void. It's a null. Well, there obviously is an authoritarian problem on both ends. So, we've got the detail. It's the recognition in research, recognition in society that it is coercive. There is a suppression. Suppression of what? You got to understand what the suppression is. A lot of it's just opinion. A lot of it's moral ought not, moral ought to, based on communal learning. The outlier. Yes, the polarized people. Are you polarized? You're like, no, I live in the rich and fabulous neighborhood. I'm not polarized. Yes, you are. You're polarized by the impoverished, low income, non-economically privileged, as one would be in a big fancy house driving a $200,000 car. So yeah, you're polarized by the ones in the spectrum that are less fortunate. Yes, you are. Yes. I didn't say criminal element people. Well, the hood's got criminals in it. Yeah, it does. So does the upper class. If I wanted to find narcotics, I didn't go to the low-income areas in my career. No, I went to the money. No money, no fast car. No money, no flashing videos with bills. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Making that cool video with your dope money. There's no money, there's no drugs. There's nobody that's going to sell your drugs because you're not paying out to anybody. Guess what? No drug dealer. Where's the money at? You take a drug dealer's drugs. Oh, now you're polarized. But yet, crime doesn't polarize. Crime sees the polarization. Criminals understand the polarization. Left wing, right wing, woke right, woke left. When are you going to wake up and understand that? It's right there in front of your face. That is the application. It's a comparison. It's a comparison of censorship. Yeah, coercive. Institutional power. Exceptional punishment for those that should get this exceptional punishment. That's all it is. The authoritarian review of you. Woke left, woke right. Institutional power. You got more there at the protest. We got more blue. Institutional Democrat. We got more red here. Institutional Republican. Yeah. But now we got to build on the extreme of the red and the blue. Got to have new identity, new argument, new comparison of questions to answer. That's the application. The exceptional punishment of the choice to serve. Are you going to be the outlier? Are you going to be polarized? The restriction level, the dislike or like of groups using same, similar, or identical measures? What, you think woke right is not going to be the same as woke left when it comes to moral action? Yes, it will. Yes. Wait for it. Wait for the train wreck. Just telling you guys, wait for it. Moral grandstanding. It's a loyalty performance. Woke left, woke right. That's all it is a loyalty performance. It's a moral grandstanding using moral language. It's partially to gain status, demonstrate superiority. That's really all it is, people. It's a mirror of a mechanism that mimics a meme. The bureaucrat is the meme. Moral grandstanding. What does the evidence show, guys? What does it show in society? Where's the academic foundation of woke right, woke left? Where is it? Where's the true academic standing of left wing, right wing? There's an academic principle of Republican and Democrat. It's been around since 1774. It's been argued. It was argued before the Senate. Yeah, you guys remember the Senate? Everybody's like, yeah, Washington, first president of, do you not? No, he was the first voted president that was not a president of the Senate, but he was voted outside of the Senate, which would make him the 11th president, first voted president by the populace of the what? Colonies, not the Senate itself. So if you include the Senate voting with the colonies, now George Washington was number 11, well, not 1. Oh, hopefully somebody just learned something right here. You'd be surprised how many people do not know that. So what's the application? What does the evidence show about the academic scholarly ability of the woke right and the woke left? There isn't any. There isn't. Always make sure you watch both sides, people. Watch the grandstanding, the polarization, the ideological extremism. It happens. The criminal justice debate for left, woke left, woke right. There's always a CJ debate. There's always a sociological debate. There's always a psychological debate. Where's the debate? It comes from the less about whether we understand the inner policies and the workings of either side. It's more about proving the speaker belongs to a morally correct camp or an amp. Why do you think people go to protest with bullhorns? Why do you think they go to protest with that loud mouth? Every protest has that loud mouth and that annoying drummer, that annoying instrument player. Yeah, it's the attention getter. The applaud me, my group. We're here for the moral ought to. Well, where's the grandstanding research of your moral ought to is the moral ought to in left wing, right wing, woke right, woke left. Everybody's focused on that. No wonder things are, I don't know, dilapidative in society. Not like it's anything new, people. It's just more recognizable. Why? Because we have social media now. We have like live streamers, podcasters, people that want to bring up old incidents and put a new spin on it. Really, people? A drone with a firearm attached? It's freaking stupid. Dumb. 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 The mirror mechanism for woke right and woke left. The big V word. It doesn't mean an equal outcome, people. Not for both. It's a mirror mechanism, yeah. You wouldn't have woke right if you didn't have woke left. You wouldn't have left wing if you didn't have right wing. You wouldn't have conservative if you didn't have Republican. Anybody ever heard of Rhino Republican? Anybody heard that Democrats now, left wing, more socialist? They're still left wing that aren't socialist, but they're 2026. A Democrat, left wing, socialist. All these, look at me, the propaganda, the similar psychological mirror process while producing different policies, different target venues of people too. And it creates harm. I hate to break the news to you. All you're doing is creating harm. Let's check the chats here. Blinded by self-righteousness. Yep, that's the grandstanding. We have the same exact rights, but mine are more important than yours. Yep. It's the way it is. It's the grandstanding. It's the collapse. It's the targeted venue. Who is the victim? That's why I said at the opening of the show, the victim. The victimology has play here. That is the sociological camp, the aspect of it. Your camp harms my camp. Left wing, right wing. So, the explanation of the mirror. We've got that. It's a target. It's a harm principle. It's a victimization. It produces different policies in the inception of the left or woke. Both sides, both wings of the big, fat, ugly, dirty pterodactyl bird. That's the explanation, but what's the detail? What is the detail behind this and the detail of the lack of research, all right? Comparing ideological extremism, it always, in the world of research, credibility, reliability, set precedent, right? It always warns against collapsing sides. Yes, collapsing sides. Example, left wing, right wing, and Islamists, right? Islamic violence. Hear that all over the place in social media, right? Jihad, right? Jizya. Okay, why is there jizya if there's jihad? Oh, we'll do jizya, but if you don't do jizya, we're going to do jihad again. Oh, so is that right wing? Is that conservative? Is that nationalist? Is that nationalist for a country and a specific religion that is migrated across the globe? So is that woke right for Islam or woke left for Islam? Somebody argue that. Well, jizya, for those of you that don't know what jizya is, you're not going to conform. You're not going to, turn your life over to Islam under the, human prophet Muhammad and his gatherings. But if you want to pay your way out of it with jizya, you can. And we won't jihad against you because you'll jizya us and support us funding. Yes, basically what it is. And somebody say, nope, he's wrong. Contraire. I went to a real mosque and spoke to a real imam in a real country that we were at war with. Not some westernized imam in a westernized mosque. Go talk to a real Muslim and Islamic person. They'll tell you what it is right up front. It's the collapsation, the violence. It's undifferential. It's a categorization. That's all you're doing is you're taking violence and you're putting it into a category. You're taking moral ought to, moral ought not, putting it into a select category that has what? Political partisan, listen to me, grandstanding, victimization. Who are the victims? We're going to identify ourselves as the victims because we're part of the polarized group that this group polarized us. The rich, the poor, the pretty, the ugly, the fit, the not fit, the supermodels, the not supermodels. You polarize people every day, people. Oh, I can't hang around with those people. Anybody ever been somewhere and seen specific races polarize? You go to a big, huge event and all the black people are clicked together over here. All the white people over here. All the Hispanic and Taino and Latino and real Spaniards from Spain and real black Africans are all together and they're not with the American black. Yeah, polarization. It's the process of separation, the real world outcome. What do you think woke right, woke left is? What do you think left wing, right wing is? What do you think Democrat, Republican is? It's polarization. It's a category. That's the detail of it. The violence across the sociological divide. It doesn't have to be physical. It can be verbal. It can be psychological. It can be sociological effects. It's violent in inception, the ideology of it, the moral ought to. It's against. It's bad. But we're going to use a similar mechanism to get the same twist that we want. We're woke right. Now we're going to start using woke left skills. We're going to start using left-wing ideology, left-wing practices. We're going to start being woke right, but we're going to start doing the same things that woke left does at a riot, at a protest. Wait for it, people. It's coming. It's coming. Why? There's no scientific definition. There's no scholarly latitude of an outcome, let alone left-wing, right woke, left woke. It's not. Prove it. You can't. It's a sociological polarization. It's a process of separating each other in the real world. It's what it is. Now, keep in mind, this is not a replacement for a classroom. We don't take political views. We like to do this on an academic way. That's why the terminologies are scrolling. And again, if you want to download the actual research for this, I'm going to bring it up again, especially if you're starting a semester this fall. Go to Facebook, or you can go to the LinkedIn, but if you go to the Facebook, you can get the access for the actual media file to download the research. That it's a lot of research, people. A lot of research has been put out since December of 2025 all the way up to now. So go download it. Use it. Use it to argue, people. You're left wing. You're woke left. Use it. Download it. You're woke right. Download it. Use it to argue. Scholarly. Stop doing the protest dum-dum stuff. Now, we covered the detail of it, the meaningful for, the meaningness of the differences in political violence, psychological, physical, sociological. Now, what is the application of woke left, woke right, and the difference, the comparison, psychological? That's what it is. It's separation. It's a design for a separative outlier outcome. You're not part of us. Why do you think there's those terms, red state, blue state? Bureaucrats. It exists for a reason. It's the psychological outcome, the outlier. You think the bureaucrats that are in support of woke right are laughing at you if you are woke right? Of course. Yes, they're grandstanding. You're following. Same applies to the woke left. Same applies to left wing. Same applies to right wing. You may be surprised if you have a conversation with some of these executive people that write legislative word of law, that aid in judicial review. Heck, Joe Biden did it. Joe Biden did it. No, we're not going to defund the police. We need to fund the police. State of the Union address. Has the whole Democratic Party lost their cookies? State of the Union address. You don't believe me? Go back and research it. Joe Biden, first State of the Union address. Watch it. He said fund the police after for 4 years it was defund the police. Now you get a Democrat president. No, fund the police. Man, they lost their cookies. Yeah, okay, but guess what? It's all good. 4 years of it. Funding problems. Now what? Red side. Fund the police. Now we're going to get more time. Funding and problems. Same thing, people. It's just a new wing on a big, fat, broke down, ugly, overweight, nasty bird. Left wing, right wing. Woke right, woke left. Now you got the new woke white. Woke right. It's not the broke right, broke left. Let's replace it with a B. No wonder society's collapsing straight on its face. So the emphasis on the application of psychological and sociological premise of separating people through polarization in society, it's the same psychological process. It does not automatically mean the same history, the same power, the same harm. It's different, but it is still a polarization that creates damage physically, psychologically, and sociologically. Different levels of harm. Yeah, different levels. It's kind of like assault. Is there a different level of assault? Yeah, verbal assault, domestic violence, fear assault, psychological assault, simple assault, a slap in the face, aggravated assault with intent to, seriously harm, grievous harm to the human body to result in hospitalization or possibly death, and it returns into death, and it's elevated up to what? Manslaughter, depraved heart murder, murder with intent, murder one. You got to think about these things. It's still harm. Left woke, right woke, left wing, right wing. Society's polarized so bad it's not funny. Yeah, there are weird, different people in the world. It's 2026, but guess what? There were weird, different people in the world 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Talk to your grandparents. Talk to your parents. when they were young. Everybody hears all these generations, X, baby boomers, millennial. Things change, people. Society adapts, society evolves, psychologically, sociologically, and so does the polarization of society. But it's all done through a bureaucratic word, a bureaucratic you that follows specific things that you watch because you're grandstanding yourself. Anybody ever watch something and then you want to jump into that political conversation because you watch something and you want everybody to think that you know what you're really talking about? The grandstand of you, the ideological love of yourself, the original sin, the Jasko principle. Look at me, the equivalent frequency with all of the others that I'm talking with. Woke right, woke left. Trust me, people. It's not going to go anywhere good. It's not. I'm not pro-woke any side, pro-bureaucrat any side, not pro-Republican, not pro-Democrat, not pro any of it. Scholarly ability. So go download the form, use it. If you're not going to use it at a university, use it to be able to argue cognitively and competently the differences. Let me see. Divided house will fall. Yeah, divided house always falls. Always. Look at Rome. Look at Greece. Yeah. Historical venue. Everybody's like, oh, Greece was taken over, Yeah, Palestine came in. No, Greece and Rome both fell to internal struggle. The failure, the cracks were already there, which made another opposing, polarized entity, gave them power. So the polarized, opposing entity came in and took them over. Yeah. It wasn't we gave up. It was conquered, destroyed, dilapidated. Look at the United States. What are you doing from within? Yep, the primary scholarly foundation. Same crime, same principle, same episode, same race, same pandemic, same panic. Hillary Clinton, remember, never let a good pandemic go to waste. Here's your new pandemic. Sociological pandemic, psychological pandemic. Oh, it's going to happen and it's coming, people. Right at the season of Christmas and joy and giving. Happy Christmas. Here's a box of covered up, wrapped up, woke right for you. Yeah, we got woke left, what? For the past decade. Now you're going to be introduced to woke right. It's coming, people. But there's really no difference in a polarization level. And don't confuse it with nationalism either, because it's not. Woke right is not nationalism. Woke left, woke right. Neither one of them are nationalism. Period. Done. Over. It's not. It's a polarization practice. And we're not talking about pro or con for race, creed, identity, religion. We're not identifying that. Neither one are nationalists. It's bureaucracy. It's set out there for an ideological change for an outlier, which is a polarized section of society. Even all the dum-dums that you're watching out here, all the high-string people, exemplars that get, 100,000 views a day. I got banned off of YouTube. I got banned from TikTok, Twitch. Yeah, keep watching them. That's the polarizer assistant for the bureaucrat. It is. Who knows somebody that the only thing they watch is pro-Trump? Who knows someone that the only thing they watch is pro-left-wing, pro-right-wing, pro-Democrat, that's all they watch. It's the polarization of it. You're filling your head with a select, bureaucratic, grandstanding moral compass of what is really right or wrong. And it affects your judicial, interpretation, executive following. Which bureaucrat that's grandstanding are you going to follow? The executive. Now it's judiciary review. Blue state, red state. Blue police departments that follow blue. Red state police departments that follow red. Word, ideology, methodology, influence. Can't get away from it. And it's not like I'm lying. All of you know it. You know it. Go to a blue state, has a blue mayor. What is the blue left-wing Democrat police chief doing? Following the words and the instruction and the request or orders of what? The blue. Now, we're not talking about Mondani. Hey, I need cops to go to another country and protect my wife while she's on vacation. No, that's not their law enforcement agency's job. That's stupid. I can't believe Mondani asked that, dumbass. Stupid moron. And just to ask, I'm not calling the guy a moron. I'm saying what he asked was just straight dumb. It's a police department for the city, not for your wife overseas. They have no jurisdictional authority in another country. What, it doesn't, what, they're not, no, the State Department's not going to let them take a whole cache of freaking protective gear and weapons. It's not going to happen. Dum-dum. So, when you're looking at all of these different ideological influences on the internet, oh, I got 2 million views, I got 180,000 K, and I'm right wing, left wing. Congratulations, you're polarizing yourself. Doesn't matter whether you're woke right or woke left. You're practicing the same ideology, the same polarization, the same concept. You're listening to the grandstander. That's all you're doing. This is not a grandstand show. We don't have a lot of followers or a lot of subscribers. It's all academic. See people come in and out of here all day long, and they're probably leaving this short stream to go to somebody that has 1,000 followers or 200K followers that are polarized on one secular ideology. It's either right or left. Now you've got woke left, woke right. Yeah, conservative is not woke right, people. It's not. It's not even nationalist. Neither one of them are nationalists. It's like comparing a Black Panther to a brown beret. The majority of society doesn't even know what a brown beret is because it's not secularized. It's been polarized out. It's the same equivalent, Latin, Taino, Hispanic, that the Black Panthers are to American black communities. Notice I didn't say African American because they weren't born in Africa. American black, right? Common freaking sense. Do your own judiciary review, your own scholarly literature review and research. The majority of society doesn't even know what a brown beret is. It's a group to where the females have more influence and more authority than the males. Imagine that. Mohala Modre. Yeah, more power. There's a reason. So, again, I know it's crazy, but I'm going to bring this up again so that people actually go download this thing, especially if you're at a university and you're doing some political science work. I'm going to bring it up. Look at that. We just had like 3 more people jump off of Rumble. I guess you didn't like the words, but that's great, man. Go find your left wing, right wing, woke left, woke right channel, your riot, your protest. Go watch it. So here it is, people. Get it, go download it. Argue something critically with an education, scholarly, with credibility, validity, peer review, set precedents, and reliability. Or you can just choose not to be a scholar and watch your nation just burn itself to the ground because of polarization, bureaucracy, bureaucrats. We're the victims of you. Get them before they get us. Who's heard that? Yeah, the divided house will fall. Well, we've been here for an hour. Semester started, and I've got things to get together. I'm going to take a few days off, enjoy the start of my semester. Yep, actually, believe it or not, I like teaching. I like being a university professor. It's the greatest, other than, chasing bad people. Probably one of the coolest things I've done. Yes, it is. And it's the venture of getting to talk to all kinds of people, left wing, right, woke left, woke right, extremist minds. You get the good mix. You get the bowl of chocolate with the honey and the nougat and the nuts and all the interpretive linguistic reviews, the identities, the religions. You get to see it all. Makes you a better rounded person, and you don't make yourself a polarized outlier. Yeah, that's the big deal. Why would you make yourself polarized? Why would you allow yourself to be polarized? And why would you allow yourself to be an outlier in society when you can be included in the academic scholarly peer review as a what? It's called peer review for a reason. So go, get an education, be a peer. Have a good night.